Welcome back, everybody, to the Vertigo Table. I am Ryan Doyle, and I'm hanging out with Mr. Welch tonight, and I couldn't be happier. Mr. Welch, how you feeling?
Shemai, y'all.
We were dropping some Welsh
Yep.
before we hit record. Tell the people where they find you on the internet.
I am at the Mr. Welch channel on YouTube. Type in Mr. Welch, or you just type in Mr. Welch RPG, and you get my live journal, which gives you the Mr. Welch list.
The infamous list.
Yes.
We talked about the list last video. There's a link down
Yeah.
below. You recently did something on fixing Rangers, which
Oh, yes.
I enjoyed. I mean, I think that's a hot topic today because it's been a hot topic forever, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, real quick, what's wrong with the Ranger and how did you fix it?
What's wrong with the Ranger is they are the second best at everything,
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
they're what they're good at is highly restrictive. So how you fix it is you make them the ultimate support character, and you give them wherever they are naturally like their favored terrain and their favorite enemy. If the party is around them, they get bonuses from being nearby you, which is the ranger
Mm.
going, watch out for that, don't step on that, he's allergic to peanut butter, don't eat that. It's like it's going to get cold soon, everybody come up. So you've got the guy leading the party through the woods. And as he levels up, the number of favored terrain and favored enemies gets bigger. So yeah, he's still limited to the outdoorsy stuff, but he's basically a permanent +1 to the party in wherever he needs to be.
I like that. I like that take. Yeah, a lot of my like what's wrong with the Ranger takes are like you need to fix like the problem with the Ranger is fifth edition. Like the
Right.
problem with there's not a lot of wilderness exploration stuff happening,
Well, yeah,
period. He doesn't have a chance to shine because she's not
that's
in her element ever.
yeah. Somebody once said, yeah, there's three pillars of fifth edition, and two of them are twigs.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and the ranger needs to be a support character, and the best way to do that I've worked out, and I'm never wrong, is to basically give them like an aura effect where they get these bonuses for being in the terrain or being in their native environment. And as long as you stay close to the ranger, he will give you the advice on where to hit the monster and how to avoid the traps and the pitfalls of wherever you're supposed to be.
I
So
like
he's the guide. He's Aragorn telling them to, it's like, what plant to go get to help people. What it's like coming back to the camp with the freshly killed deer so they don't have to spend their rations. Um, knowing to put out the fire so it doesn't attract the monsters.
it's all
He's
very
got
like
all of the knowledge.
knowledge, wisdom. Yeah, my
Yeah.
friend my friend Brad from Direden, shout out to Brad, was like the Ranger is Aragorn, and every time they try to make it anything else, they make it worse. Just make Aragorn,
Well, you
and it's
want to
almost
get
that simple. What's
combat
that?
wise, you want to get away from Aragorn because that's why it's the bow and the two weapon fighting, because that's Aragorn.
And then and mechanically, you're second best because you're a little bit of everything, so you're not
Yeah.
really shining.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out that video. It's a good deep dive into that subject, and I believe that's where you made a Pee Wee Herman reference, which killed me. I'm a rebel, Dottie.
Oh yeah.
I think that was in the Ranger video of like the
Yeah,
lone
there
wolf
was. Oh,
hero.
I've made a bunch of Pee Wee Herman references. He makes a lot of appearances in my movie or in my videos. Not as much as Winona, but enough to be memorable.
He's was a hero of mine.
Yes.
All right, let us roll some dice on the Game
Okay.
Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation.
Or as we say in Cymru, compendium Mr. Gemo Gru Feridol.
So what you're witnessing, folks, is a live translation into Welsh, which
Yes.
I am freaking excited about. I can't afford translation fees. However, I'm excited to have this be multilingual. I could make a really crappy Spanish version, I think,
Yes.
or at least I used to years ago. I'm a little rusty.
Señorita, dos
Um,
more cervezas, por favor, señor
yeah,
Spanish.
I can get by. I can. I got the basics. I can get
Alegro
beer
por
and
raja
find
de
the
hambre y lobos
restroom.
en mi baños.
I used to.
Type stuff.
It's funny. I used to be nasty, but like it's use it or lose it. But it comes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Um,
I know enough. I know enough to order a beer and start a fight.
I know enough Spanish to convince you that I know enough Spanish, which is the wrong amount of Spanish to know, because then I have to like
Yes.
explain how actually I don't speak Spanish well at
¿Dónde
all.
los,
And could you please speak more slowly? Because I am not a native
¿Dónde los
speaker.
quiero? In esquina. Where do you want it? In the corner. Yeah. I drive a Ford.
I mean, we could go Spanish on this one, but or
Yeah.
Welsh for that matter. But we're gonna cook up a character.
All right.
So in front of you is a table of contents with all of our archetypes. We can roll a D100, or you can select one. Player's
Actually,
choice.
we were talking about letting the dice gods decide.
Yes, and it is a chaos generating. Oh, he's got one of the big ones. All right, folks, we're gonna wait. I'll cut to when it's done rolling. I love those, but
Dodecahedron. Lou named it after himself. It is an 89.
89 is gonna give us a spy.
Yes.
Boom. I mean, are you happy with that? You want best out of three, or
Oh,
you want to
no,
roll up a
no,
spy
no,
tonight?
no. The dice gods will determine what my character is.
I like your style. So we're in tribute to the dice gods. We're going to roll one of everything except for the D100. But I'm going to ask you to roll 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20.
But I have a D34.
If you don't, I don't have the D30. It's funny. I have a D30 that I'm like always looking for reasons to use, but I'm not going to assume you
No,
have one at
no.
home.
D34.
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 Ooh. Let me
Yeah.
think
That's the
on.
D30. That's the D34.
Is it 30?
In Europe, there's a lottery that they go 1 through 34 and they pick like 8 numbers. That's why you have.
Man,
That's the only reason why this exists.
I like it. I might need one now. I like crossed some boundary from like holding the minimalist line to like I become a dice goblin in the last
Yeah.
maybe year or so of my life.
I don't even
Um,
know where these dice come from. They just kind of breed.
I did it. Yes, that happens. That they're like chickens or cats. Like
I
once
couldn't.
you start, they like exert gravity, and more of these
Yeah,
show up.
I haven't bought a die in years, and I've got like 2 dice bags. I don't know where they come from.
All right, roll one of everything. I'm going to ask for. Well, I'm sorry. Roll a 4, 6, an 8, a 10, a 12, and a 20. I forgot who I was dealing with here. I'm gonna. I yeah. What am I? We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll. Keep that D34 out. I'm gonna figure out a reason to roll that. But I'm gonna
Yes.
ask you for the D20 to
All right,
start.
so 20, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. Let's all at once.
Yeah, that's the way. Unless you're limited on space.
Become a master of every secret and cipher.
Well, that's good. That's a good motivation to start.
Yes, the organization they once served has fallen.
I dig it. All right, fuck. Let's hit the ground running. Give me D12. Call to adventure.
Call an
Uh,
adventure.
yeah,
So,
D12.
yes, the organization they once served has fallen.
Oh, you're skipping ahead. You're doing
Oh
a speed
no, I was
reading.
calling these out in order. So we've got
Oh,
become
you know what? I love
a
it. Do
master
it.
of every secret and cipher.
Do it.
Yes.
Give me them all. Let's cook.
Okay. But then the organization I joined originally has fallen. So I has fractured my life and loyalty, forcing me to choose one side, which is perfect. Wait, I'm sorry. That's not the right one. That is the
That
D8
was a
with the
good one though.
D10.
That might have been meant to be.
Oh, that is the D8. The D10. All right, we'll get to the D10 last because that's the last one out there. Not that it matters. Okay, I am friends with the brokerage, a secret black market where information is the main commodity for trade. My friend is a crafty tinkerer whose inventions are often very useful and only occasionally blow up. And he has given me a utility pouch, which can produce caltrips, oils, marbles, or a 30-foot thick radius of thick smoke once per day. So it's basically a Ford Taurus engine. Okay.
Mr. Welch, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be here all week. So what does that do for you? Does that make you think of anything other than the four
Oh,
chores?
it kind of fills itself out. So you've got the spy that is, signed up for this organization, and he's going to be the cryptographer or the guy, the code breaker. But then something happens with the organization. It is defeated by a rival. It is, torn. There's an internal schism. It tears itself apart. Okay, so I have to choose one side or the other. The organization is gone. It is now the scattered party members. It is the former members, and I have to choose between one or the other. But since I am a code breaker, another organization is courting me. So that would be the brokerage, because they know that the information that I have discovered is worth something. So
Hmm.
I can, I can, maybe they're trying to recruit me, maybe they're trying to get the information that I know of. The tinkerer is the one that, gives me my Enigma machine and something similar. Like he's the one that, like he gives me the things that let me do all the different types of ciphers, or like put the paper in the machine, it prints out an invisible ink. And the one thing that he has given me as a favor is the utility pouch. So if I'm being pursued, I can use something to get rid of the pursuers.
So just zooming out for a second.
Yeah.
I've sat down, I play tested the shit out of this. And I've been sitting
Yeah.
down doing this with a bunch of different creative people. And like what I love about doing stuff like this is watching what other people do to the thing that I made. Right. And
Yes.
like we go line by line and we talk it through and like, oh, this could mean this or this or this or this. And you just like, wham, here's all of it together and like did a little speed run and like cooked it down so fast and like just a different approach to what other people have been doing. And it's like it's cool to watch different people like respond to tools in different ways. Like this is how I'm going to use this thing. Give me all of them. Bloop. And like the dot connects so much faster that way. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
If you would
That's
have put it in
interesting.
fours, I would have done it in half the time.
Well, there's another page. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe we'll make a bunch
Yeah.
of these now doing it this way. But
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked that a lot. You lost me there for a second, and I was like, okay. And
Well, it threw
I
me off
liked.
because I know it's going to be for formatting, but yeah, I was doing D20, D12, but the D10's at the bottom because there's not enough room, so that's obvious. That's why
Yes, and
I have I
I struggled to switch those two for a long time before I was like, this doesn't quite. It's not
oh,
doing what I needed to do.
you don't have to defend yourself against me when trying to put together a page layout with charts.
But
I
yeah,
I have done this many a time myself.
you know how it is. You get like
Yeah.
how many times these columns moved a tenth of an inch before
Yeah.
before what you see before you.
I laid out a magazine for a decade. It's like the right word, like change, a 7-letter word, can ruin a sentence where a 6-letter word will save it.
Yes, this looks very simple, folks. And I wish honestly, I wish it was like a little more razzmatazz. All the razzmatazz is in
Yeah.
the front matter, but like, thank you. A lot of work went into. So this is a 2-page spread per
Ah,
archetype because I wanted it all. So a man of tradition. Well, no, this might irk you a little bit, but I'm gonna ask you to roll 4d6, not 3d6.
fortunately,
Um,
I happen to have about 380 D6.
we're not dropping anything, but we're gonna roll 4d6s to get. This is kind of more the game master world buildy side of things. So like the other side of that schism, perhaps, is gonna be sitting here. Our enemy.
Okay.
So what you got? I'm gonna sit back, let you cook, man. What you got?
A lot of ones.
Ooh,
Okay, so let's go it off. Antagonist organization. The Lidless Eye. Divine wizards are eagerly providing mass surveillance to the highest bidder. Then rivals. Fox Blacklock. Lackluster spy since everyone knows about his favorite cocktail and promiscuity. And then evocative locations. The Bolt Hole Barrows, a network of tunnels and hidey holes interlaced through an urban environment. The Thermatic Monster, the Blood Raven, used to carry messages because they mimic speech and readily defend themselves. And the plot hook: a powerful anti-magic device has been created in which spelled a disaster fell into the wrong hands.
So I feel like maybe that is that the Enigma machine, or is that like the opposite of the Enigma machine?
That would be no. If you're going to be going, if you're going to go James Bondish, that is that's the device that has been hidden away, and that you have the code. You have discovered the code and the secret to where it's actually located at, and you have to.
Mm.
You would have to. Uh, uh, you would have to unravel that. You'd have to get all of the clues to unravel the cipher to find out where this is, because whoever gets their hands on it first is going to be the ones that control it. So this is a matter. This is probably going to be involve a scavenger hunt trying to find the ciphers to decode the different the different clues as everyone has a different vector on where it is. One person is like, it would be similar to the good, the bad, and the ugly. One person knows where the cemetery is, but only one person knows which is the correct grave.
I like, and that fits in really nicely with this idea of like the schism happened, and now
Yeah,
I mean maybe the lidless eye is the other part of it, or they're a third party trying to like they were the
yeah,
antagonistic force to that group before it broke up.
yeah. And like, so I know, like, so the faction that I'm siding with, like the lidless eye knows that it's in this city park, but this city park is 3 miles across. I happen to know exactly which tree it's buried under, but I don't know. I know. Like I have a name, which tells me that if I go to this spot where this guy's name is, this is where it's going to be hidden behind. But I don't know what park I'm going to be able to find this location at.
Yeah, because
You're
it's
going to
like
steal from the best.
Mr. Sycamore or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
behind.
do. I mean, you pulled the crappy James Bond reference, but like I do like the idea of like inept guy. Maybe he was like our partner before the schism, or he's just
Yeah,
like some coworker that we're kind of glad we're not working with anymore. He could
yeah.
have his uses, perhaps,
He would
but
be Tuco for the from the good, the bad, and the ugly.
mm,
And the Bold Hole Barrows is this is where it's being located at. So it's the tunnels and hidey holes, and there's going to be there's going to be a specific spot that I know of, but I don't know exactly where in this maze that this location is going to be. When we get to it, there's going to be 100 options, but I know which one is the right one.
I like that because that's a cool like version of like the puzzle dungeon of like you think you're going to a place
Yeah.
and there's 100 rooms in this place. You're like, oh shit, now it's an adventure.
What was it? Hold on. It's like the classic Italian movie. Let me see. Was it was it Treasure of the Four Crowns? I'm the only person that remembers this movie. Treasure of the Four Crowns in Wonder Vision 3D.
Oh, we're going
The guy
backwards.
has one guy has this key that will open up the treasure, and they get to the room and there's 100 keyholes.
That makes me think of the Grail scene in
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Blanking on
Yes,
that
I got
name.
to interview Julian Glover about that.
Oh,
Yes. That's
nice.
actually if there's a picture of me somewhere squeeing. He's the only man I've ever squeed on.
Don't look up what
Brilliant.
that means, folks.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, and I wasn't even supposed to be Donovan. They called me. I was going to be the Nazi general, and they called me. I was like, how'd you like to be the major bad guy in this movie? Okay.
He goes out right. Like that's a
Yeah.
good death scene. I think
Yeah.
no, I was older. The Raiders, I
He
was like
chose
maybe a
four.
little too young to see
Yeah.
that. It's
He
similar.
was General Veers in Empire Strikes Back. He was in two Doctor Who's. Just masterful actor. I could squee on him even more, but let's not do that. So yeah, we've got so continue with the story. So Fox Blacklock knows exactly where the room with all the keys are, or all the key locks are, but I've got the right key.
Okay.
And we've been
I'm so close here too.
hmm.
Because what would it be? Minus 5, 12.
And you get and the blood raven is you get the clue from a raven that's I'm the one that hears the blood raven is the one that knows what's the correct key, the correct keyhole to unlock. And before it arrives and I hear it and then it dies. Again, stealing from the good, the bad, and the ugly. It tells me which is the correct keyhole to unlock. As we're trying to find this room that's hundreds of keyholes, and I've got the correct key. And I know it's like I know exactly which keyhole to enter it in, but I don't know where this room is.
It's a very cool, like, Metroid style design of
Yeah.
like different locks and keys. Because, like, yeah, you can make a bunch of fetch quests. Because in theory, you know, you have 4 or 5 player characters. You're trying to intertwine here.
Yeah.
My key is somewhere that where you know everybody else wants to, or the dungeon master wants me to go in the first place.
Yeah. We're looking for a vault, which is going to be filled with like secure or oh god, I can't remember. I'm blanking on the security boxes or the personal in the bank.
Yeah, there's like safety deposit boxes, like
The safety deposit box.
yes.
So there's 100 safety deposit boxes, and all but one of them are trapped.
Yeah, just this idea of like the reverse. I mean, it's comedy instincts we were talking about last time, but like you open up the treasure chest to like finally you found the location of like the key you've been looking for, and you open it up and there's 1,000 keys, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, now what?
Doctor Who, a famous episode. He's like trying to hide this key. He runs into a key shop, hangs it on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, because you're up against divination wizards, right?
Yeah.
So like how they know when they're within if they're within 1,000 feet, they're gonna find this thing. So how do
Yes.
you hide it? Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in one of these, and you can put a magic dweomer on all of them so that if they cast detect item, it's going to show that it's in every single one of these.
Yes. Yeah. No, and that goes back to like misinformation, disinformation. Like, what
Yeah.
would magic spies be doing? It's not just, yeah, they'd be flooding the sky with blood ravens with like the wrong
Yeah.
password. Like,
That was actually one of the spells I created for the Mystara thing. Was there's a spell that you cast it on a magic item to make it detect as another magic item.
that's and it's cursed, right? That feels like a cursed item. But like, yeah.
No, it's whatever you need it to be. You cast it on a sword +1 to make it look like a Vorpal sword, so that when everybody comes to start selecting the magic items, they're going to take that sword rather than what is the best magic item.
And like, yeah, I could see where we go to that black market that we rolled to sell our loot. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, here, a sayer. Let
yeah.
me just cast my illusionary spell on this, and yeah,
She cast it on a staff +1 to make it look like a staff of power. Then the two other party members started fighting over that while she pocketed the wand she wanted.
that's clever.
Yeah,
I like again, you need the right kind of people at your table when you're
yeah.
when you're starting trouble like that. But
Going way back when back in Adrian's garage when I first started DMing.
sounds like a Frank Zappa album. Uh,
Could have been.
well, okay, that was fun and that was fast. You want to roll another one? Or are you satisfied with
Now
that?
what time is it? I do gotta the kids
Yeah,
get
it's funny. We've been talking for a long time, but a lot of it was off camera because this has been a lot of fun. But yeah, we can be done if you want to be done. I'm cool.
no, I just need to know what time it is.
It is for you. It is 9:10 p.m.
Oh yeah. I have to be working early.
Okay, cool.
We can do this again later. He was like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
I'm
I've
game.
had this has been real fun.
All right. Remind everybody. Tell us about the book. the once and future book that you're cooking up.
Well,
I'm gonna go back to full screen.
the Mystara Player's Handbook is
Yes.
the greatest games or a setting book for fifth edition, as determined by science. So it covers the known world. It is currently being revised because I have a morbid obsession with absolute flawlessness. But it introduces the old Mystara setting and compiled together in one book for the first time. It introduces our version of the turtle. It introduces of the various classes. It has the races. It introduces the Rakasta, which is our version, which is our cat people, which is mechanically different from the Rakasta in several ways. The Lupin, which were the original dog people. It has the Phanatons, which are flying squirrel, monkey, raccoon people, which is like massive cuteness overload. And it introduces the Sidhe, which the Tir Nog, the Telwith Teg, the Fey Folk. This is all from the original Mystara series. It has 32 subclasses, introduces new forms of magic. It's free over at rpgmp3.com because I'm not allowed legally to sell it. You can get a PDF. You get the PDF, and the PDF is formatted for Lulu. So if you wanted to print that out and publish it, you're completely allowed to do that. It's available in English and Italian. It has dozens of new spells, mostly by Monty Cook. So they're mostly broken. No, not really. It's Monty Cook. And it gives you everything you need to know how to play in Mystara and in fifth edition. And in a couple of weeks, I will be updating it to take my own advice and strip all the cantrips out of starting races and fixing the secret class of magic. So you end up with secret magical schools that you can acquire power from at the expense of health. You can it has runic magic, which is also from Mystara, where you can try to obtain secret magics at the expense of possibly dying. Yeah, what price power is a major theme in this. All the art is original. All the art is paid for. I wrote this with the fan creation license. I put it up on rpg.net. And they took it down and accused me of piracy, and then reversed the decision. So I got unbanned from rpg.net, which went on my resume. And like I said, if there's a PayPal link if you want to donate anything for, to pay for the next step. I'm working on the DMG, but that's going to be a while. We're waiting to see how 5.5 hits. Which currently, from what I've seen for 5.5, 5.5 is the rating of the new edition on a scale of 1 to 10. It's okay. But yeah, that book is written and available at RPG. Just type in the Mystara Player's Guide, it'll come up automatically. And that's the prettiest one I've written so far.
Check it out. It is awesome. And support folks who are doing things that you enjoy, so they'll keep doing things you enjoy, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you at home. Thank you so much. Be kind, have fun. Bye, everybody.